Okay, it's time for the February TBR, and up front, I defend in like a month, less than a month. Kind of freaking out about it. So, this for sure has my book club obligations, any buddy reads I'm in, and it has a bunch of books I want to get to, and then equally a number of books that I know I can't read all of, but I want to have mood reading options. Because I don't know where I am going to be. If my headspace is going to want like really new takes on different genres, or if I want something comfortable and escapist. I don't know. So I'm just going to provide them all to you, but besides the obligations, this isn't something where you should come back to the wrap up and think that I'll talk about everything, because unless I have way more free time than I think I'm going to have, I'm not reading all of these books. So let's start with my Patreon obligations, which shout out to my Patreons. I primarily use that money to pay for my cat's vet bills, and we have had a few of them this month. She's fine, Delilah's doing okay. It's just she's 17 years old, and that comes with expensive cat food and vet bills, and I'm able to pay for that because of the Patreon. So they're lovely people, and because they're lovely, they get to vote for a book I read each month and a book that we buddy read, and I spoiler vlog each month. So the spoiler vlog, the buddy read, is a Stephen King. This is Lisey's story, nominated by Travis because he is determined to find a Stephen King book that I like. And I'm optimistic because my friend Brittany at Books with Brittany really likes this one too. And we shall see. I don't know if I'm going to physically read it or audiobook it. I have both options, and I don't know a lot about it. I'm just going into it knowing two people who generally know my taste have liked this book and think I might have a good time with it. So I'm going to spoiler vlog it. We're going to discuss it in the Discord. It should be a fun time. And then they voted for me to read a book off my TBR, and how that works is we put a poll together, and one thing on the poll is from basically a raffle from the top tier, and the others I made arcs that I have, because I have a lot of February arcs. A lot of good books are coming out in February, and they chose for me to read All the Horses of Iceland. This is actually a novella, like it's 112 pages. I think it's very lyrical, which means I'm glad that it's 112 pages, because that can wear out my welcome. I think the cover is really pretty, and I'm hoping that if I really like it and I find it really impactful, I have an excuse to go purchase it, because traditionally I only purchase novellas that I really love, because they cost just as much as like a full-length book, and it's just kind of hard to rationalize that sometimes, at least when you make as much as I do. So those are the two for the Patreon, and then I have a buddy read. Stephanie and I are continuing our Wheel of Time journey. We took a break, and now we're going into The Winter's Heart, because I thought if we didn't read The Winter's Heart in winter, we've messed up. But also, we're just trying to push through the slog, get one done this month and one next month, and then I think we maybe have one more book left, and that one's debatable for some people. So it's exciting. Well, exciting to be getting the slog accomplished, less exciting about going into it. I was pretty lukewarm on Path of Daggers, but not as lukewarm as Stephanie. She's had more of a roller coaster experience, and I have been very like, doo-doo. Like, that's about where I've been. So Path of Daggers was not worse for me than other books. But I am curious to see what happens in this one. I also have buddy reads planned. One is with Laura from A Book Circus. We're reading The Vanished Half. This is a sci-fi that when I posted my 22 books to read in 2022 video, which is really more of a 10 books to read in 2022 video, I explained it there because I'm going to elaborate once the Reddit bingo happens. Everyone who had read this book talked about how much they loved it and how much it's a favorite of theirs, and I am excited. I'm excited for the ending. I'm excited for the introspective, reflective experience, to form my own thoughts, and then hopefully have another release this year by that author to look forward to. So we're buddy reading it. This time last year, we buddy read The Prey of Gods, and that went fantastic. I think this book's going to be very different, but I'm hoping we have a great time. And then Judith at Dead Good Book Reviews is running this Anna Marie McLemore read-along, and I'm going to join in for Blanca y Roja, which is also on my list of books to read in 2022, and I hope I love it. I loved Darkest Deepest Red. I don't know what this is about. I just think the cover is really pretty, and I know it's one that Judith remembers liking particularly. And I think the last obligation, but honestly, it's just a book I really want to read, for Space Sirens Book Club, we're reading Ancillary Justice. And all I know is that Carrie has described this as being like Nine Fox Gambit world building. And I love Nine Fox Gambit, so I'm very down and hoping to get that really cool sci-fi world-building vibe from it. I have the first one on my Kindle. I think I bought it on like a $2 sale. So, especially since I'm trying to make sure I don't accidentally not put sci-fi on my TBRs each month, this is for sure on there. So those are all of the obligations. The rest is really, what am I feeling? What are we going to do? So there are 2 other arcs that are on my radar that I might get to. One is a sci-fi romance called We Hunt the Stars, or no, Hunt the Stars. I'm getting it confused with We Hunt the Flames, I think. But Hunt the Stars is an adult speculative sci-fi romance. I think supposed to be very like plot heavy, like action packed, but with a lot of like, I think it's enemies to lovers. I'm not positive if it's enemies to lovers. Don't quote me. But I'm excited to read it, have that on my NetGalley shelf. And then Justice for Kings, right? That's what it's called, The Justice of Kings. Different title. There's too many blanks of blanks. I know that's like such a cliche in fantasy titles, but it's so hard for my brain. So this is a book where a bunch of my friends have already reviewed it and loved it, and I really, really hope I also love it. Granted, there's one friend, Abby, has a review. I haven't watched it, and I don't actually know if she loves it, but she smiled in the thumbnail. So hopefully she did. I don't know. I know Alan really liked it. It's been getting a bunch of hype on Twitter. So I need to watch those and get my right expectations, and I hope I have a good time. I've also heard that it's like kind of maybe interesting narrative framework that our like main character, the judge, jury, executioner, is not our main point of view. So kind of that reminds me of like Song of Achilles when we have Patroclus telling Achilles' story. And other books do that as well, but that sort of framing, which I don't dislike. So I'm hoping to like that. I don't know which of those I'll pick up. I doubt I'll get to both, if I'm being honest with myself. And the new Sarah J. Maas book comes out in February, and if my mental health requires, it's probably getting picked up. And that's, House of Sky and Breath? I don't know. It's one of these. This is up on the screen. I just reread House of Earth and Blood last month, and I loved it. I loved it again. Just fantastic, escapist time. Everything is formulaic and predictable and bingeable in the appropriate ways for me. And I think the last one on my list that is like a maybe is Fall of Hyperion, which has been on many a TBR, which is why I'm like, it'll probably happen, just because I want it to be off the TBR. This is the sequel to Hyperion. Ryan's actually reading Fall of Hyperion right now. I just want to read it so before I forget everything in Hyperion. Luckily, there's that video with Alan that I can always, I guess, rewatch and like get the greatest hits of all the plot moments and my thoughts. But yeah, and I actually did forget that there's one more book that for myself I want to read. So this is actually a higher priority than the other ones I've mentioned. I've just forgotten to like this moment. This is an arc I really want to get to. So if I only get 2 arcs this month, it's the Horses of Iceland, and it's this one, Reclaim the Stars, which is a short story anthology by a bunch of Latinx diaspora authors, edited by Zoraida Cordova, which we all know I love. Zoraida Cordova. So I'm really excited about that one, to get introduced to other authors and see what stories they chose to tell. I don't know if there's a thematic overlay for this, but I have an arc of that, and it gets released in February, so I would really like to read it. It has a very pretty cover too, so if I like it, I could get it. But that's the TBR. Like I said, I think I calculated the pages, and this is not reasonable whatsoever, especially with the stress I'll presumably be under. Granted, there is a chance that, 2 weeks into February, I just like get my dissertation to people and I can't edit it, but I have to edit slides. So I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. I've never defended a thesis before. So I'm going in with optimistic energy and lots of opportunities to escape into great books. What are your February reading plans? Do you mood read? Do you like reading romances because it's February? Well, what are you in the mood for this coming month? And if you want to leave an emoji, it's February. Leave a heart emoji of your color of choice if you don't want to say anything else but want me to know you're here. And like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.